The refrigerator in your kitchen right now has a 1 in 3 chance of failing before it turns 10 years old. Not wearing down, not slowing, failing, completely, expensively, while you're still making payments on it. And the company that sold it to you knew that when they cashed your check. In the last 5 years, American consumers have settled refrigerator class action lawsuits worth over $2 billion. LG paid $1.5 billion in a single verdict. Samsung paid out on 3 million defective units. Both companies kept selling the same machines the following week. You didn't hear any of that in the showroom. What you got was a stainless finish, a touchscreen, and a monthly payment on what the repair industry calls a countdown clock. In this investigation, we are naming the 5 refrigerator brands on the repairman's blacklist and exposing exactly why they ended up there. Let's start with the brand that generated more consumer lawsuits in the last decade than any other appliance manufacturer in the country. Samsung does not make bad refrigerators by accident. They make them by design. The Samsung French door platform, specifically models in the RF and RFG series, produced from 2014 through the present, suffers from a structural engineering flaw that the company has known about for years and has repeatedly failed to meaningfully correct. The ice maker sits in the upper left section of the refrigerator compartment, not the freezer. It is exposed to slightly warmer ambient air. That air carries moisture. That moisture freezes around the ice maker coils over time and eventually turns the entire mechanism into a solid block of ice. The ice maker stops producing ice. Water backs up behind the unit. It finds the path of least resistance, which is usually down through your produce drawers and onto your kitchen floor. Samsung sold tens of millions of these units across the United States. In 2021, they settled a class action lawsuit involving more than 3 million affected refrigerators. The settlement payout was widely criticized by consumer advocates as deeply insufficient relative to the scale of damage caused. The fix Samsung offered in many cases was a foam gasket retrofit, a piece of foam, on a $1,200 appliance with a known engineering defect. And here is what makes that particularly damning. Samsung's own internal service bulletins, which circulated among authorized repair technicians years before the lawsuit closed, acknowledged the icing problem by name. They knew. They issued a workaround. They did not issue a redesign. The lawsuits did not stop after the settlement. The fundamental design did not change. New buyers are still purchasing the same French door configuration today and discovering the same water damage problem 18 to 36 months in. If you own one of these units right now, you are not waiting to see if it fails. You are waiting to find out when. But Samsung is not the only brand that decided consumer frustration was an acceptable line item in their product planning. LG built its modern refrigerator reputation on a technology they called the linear compressor. The marketing around it was genuinely sophisticated. LG told consumers the linear compressor had fewer moving parts than a conventional rotary compressor, ran more quietly, consumed less energy, and would last 20 years. They printed that 20-year claim in their advertising materials. What they did not prominently advertise was what happened when that compressor failed, because it failed often and it failed catastrophically. The linear compressor in LG refrigerators produced between 2014 and 2019, models including the LR, MVS 3006S, and dozens of related French door and side-by-side configurations, failed at a rate that class action attorneys and federal investigators described as systemic. When a linear compressor dies, it does not degrade slowly, it stops. The refrigerator stops cooling entirely. Everything inside reaches room temperature within hours. Families lost hundreds of dollars in groceries with no warning. Then they called LG, and LG informed them the compressor itself was covered under the limited warranty, but the labor required to replace it was not. And that labor cost ran between $400 and $600 out of pocket for a compressor that was supposed to last 20 years but failed in 3. A federal class action lawsuit was filed. LG settled in 2020 for approximately $1.5 billion, making it one of the largest appliance product liability settlements in American history. That is not a rounding error in an earnings report. That is a company that knowingly sold a defective core component across millions of units for years and chose settlements over solutions. After the settlement, LG quietly extended its compressor warranty on new units to 5 years, not 25. Draw your own conclusions about what that number tells you.
If there is no space for that heat to escape, it just recirculates around the fridge. The condenser has to work harder and longer, running in its own hot exhaust. Over time, this overheats the compressor and dramatically shortens its life. The fix is free. Pull your fridge out an inch or two from the wall. Make sure there is at least an inch of clearance on each side. That is it. No tools, no parts, no cost. Just a couple inches of breathing room that can prevent a $500 compressor failure down the road. And speaking of cheap protection, the next tip is a $30 investment that most homeowners skip, and it is the single most common cause of sudden, catastrophic fridge failure. Number 7, use a surge protector. If you have made it this far, you already know more about your refrigerator than most repair technicians would ever tell you. Now, here is one they almost never mention: a single power surge. From a lightning strike, a utility grid fluctuation, or even your air conditioner kicking on, can fry your fridge's start relay or control board in an instant. These are not cheap fixes. A control board replacement runs $250 to $500. A start relay is $100 to $200 with labor. And here is the frustrating part. Most homeowners' insurance policies do not cover surge damage to appliances unless you had a whole home surge protector installed. The solution is simple. Buy an appliance-grade surge protector, not a cheap power strip from the dollar store. A proper unit rated for large appliances with Joule ratings above 1,000. They cost about $30 to $50 and plug right into the wall behind your fridge. $30 to protect a $1,500 appliance. That is the kind of math that makes sense. Now, the next tip is something most people think they are already handling, but they are probably overdue and do not even know it. Number 6, replace your water filter on schedule. If your fridge has a water dispenser or ice maker, it has a water filter. Most manufacturers recommend replacing it every 6 months. Most homeowners go a year, 2 years, or never. A clogged filter does more than give you bad tasting water. It restricts water flow to the ice maker, which means the ice maker works harder and produces less. That restricted flow also puts back pressure on the water inlet valve. That is the part that controls water coming into the fridge. Over time, that added strain can crack the valve or its fittings, and now you have a slow leak behind or underneath your refrigerator. A water inlet valve replacement costs $150 to $250 with labor. A water filter costs $20 to $40 and takes 10 seconds to swap. Set a reminder on your phone or your calendar. Every 6 months, change the filter. It is the easiest maintenance task on any refrigerator, and skipping it creates problems that are far more expensive to fix. That was important. But the next tip is one that can turn a mysterious noise into a $20 fix instead of an $800 disaster. And timing is everything. Number 5, do not ignore unusual noises. You are doing great. These next few tips are the ones that separate a $100 fix from a $600 catastrophe. Your refrigerator makes noise. That is normal. But when the noise changes, pay attention. A clicking sound from the back usually means the compressor is struggling to start, often pointing to a failing start relay. A $15 to $30 part you can replace yourself. A buzzing near the bottom rear could be the water inlet valve vibrating. Another $20 to $50 part. A grinding sound from inside the freezer is often the evaporator. Fan hitting ice buildup, meaning your defrost system needs attention. Every one of these noises points to a small, affordable fix if you catch it early. Ignore it for a few months, and that clicking compressor burns out completely. Now you are looking at $400 to $800. A homeowner in Denver ignored a buzzing fridge for 5 months. The inlet valve cracked and leaked water behind the wall. The repair bill was $1,200. But even if you catch every noise and fix every part, it will not help you if the person giving you the diagnosis has a financial reason to lie. And that is exactly what the next tip is about. Number 4, get a second opinion. A retired teacher in Florida called a big box warranty service because her fridge stopped cooling. The technician came out, took one look, and told her the sealed system had failed and the fridge was unrepairable. He recommended she buy a new one. conveniently through the same company's retail program. She would have spent $2,000 on a new refrigerator. Instead, her son suggested she get a second opinion. An independent repair shop found a $45 fan motor had died. Total repair cost with labor, $165. Here's what you need to know. Some repair technicians, especially those working on commission or through big box warranty programs, are financially incentivized to declare your appliance dead. They earn more when you buy a replacement than when they fix what you already own. This is not every technician. Plenty are honest. But when someone tells you a relatively young fridge is beyond repair, always get a second opinion from an independent shop. The $75 you spend on another diagnostic could save you $1,500 or more. And speaking of saving your fridge, the next tip is the single most important maintenance task most homeowners have never done once. What it prevents will shock you. Number 3. Clean your condenser coils. This is the big one. If you only do one maintenance task on your refrigerator for the rest of its life, let it be this. Your condenser coils are the metal tubes on the back or bottom of your fridge. Their job is to release heat from inside the refrigerator. When those coils are caked with dust, pet hair, and kitchen grease, and if you have never cleaned them, they almost certainly are, they cannot release heat efficiently. The compressor runs longer and harder to compensate. It overheats. It wears out years ahead of schedule. Dirty condenser coils are the #1 cause of premature compressor failure. A compressor replacement runs $400 to $700. Cleaning the coils takes about 10 minutes and costs nothing. Pull the fridge away from the wall or pop off the bottom grill. Use a coil brush, about $8, or a vacuum with a brush attachment. Remove the dust and grime. Do this twice a year, 10 minutes, twice a year, to protect the most expensive part of your refrigerator. If that tip alone could save your compressor, wait until you hear what the next one can save you. Because some repair shops are flat out lying about what is and is not fixable. Number 2, the sealed system lie. Here is one that makes my blood boil. A homeowner calls a repair company because their fridge is not cooling. The text says something like, "Your sealed system is leaking refrigerant." It is a sealed system, so there is no way to fix it. You need a new refrigerator. That sounds authoritative. It sounds final. And in many cases, it is a lie. Yes, the refrigerant system is technically sealed, but qualified technicians with EPA Section 608 certification can absolutely service it. They can locate the leak, braze the lines, pressure test the repair, and recharge the refrigerant. It is not a simple job, but it is absolutely possible. A sealed system repair typically costs $300 to $600. A new refrigerator costs $1,200 to $3,000. When someone tells you the sealed system cannot be repaired, they may not have the skills or equipment, or they earn more selling you a new unit. Ask. Specifically, can a certified refrigeration technician service this? That was critical, but the final tip is the one that could save you more money than all the others combined, and most homeowners have no idea it exists. Number 1, your compressor warranty. This is the tip the repair industry does not want you to know. Most major refrigerator brands, including LG, Samsung, Whirlpool, GE, and Frigidaire, include a separate warranty on the compressor that is completely independent from the standard 1-year warranty. Depending on the brand, this compressor warranty lasts 5, 7, or even 10 years. That means even if your fridge is 3, 5, or 7 years old, and the standard warranty has long expired, the compressor may still be fully covered. A compressor replacement typically costs $500 to $800 out of pocket. Under warranty, it is free. You only pay labor, which runs about $100 to $200. Here is the problem. Many repair companies will never mention this. Warranty. They will quote you the full price for parts and labor, you will pay it, and they pocket the profit on a part the manufacturer would have provided at no charge. Before you approve any compressor work, do this. Find your model number. It is on a sticker inside the fridge door or on the side wall. Call the manufacturer directly. Ask if the compressor is still under warranty. It takes 5 minutes, and it could save you $600 or more. Every refrigerator owner should know this, and now you do. That is 15 tips that can keep your refrigerator running for years. Now, there is a video on your screen that covers the biggest mistakes homeowners make with their dishwashers. Click it now. I will see you there.